I've been a mixed martial arts coach for 20 odd years since really MMA began, and moved to Australia in 2003, where I started Winter Warrior about 5 years ago now. It was the same kind of guys that were coming in the gym, like kind of blue collar workers, just guys that wanted to fight. People weren't coming into the gym to train in mixed martial arts to get fit and strong and all the things that our sport can give to people. The idea behind Winter Warrior was to demonstrate that anyone can do the sport. So I advertised on Facebook for one person that I trained for 6 months for free. They couldn't have any combat experience before, and that one person had to agree from day one that they would compete at the end. So I put it on Facebook, and we had 400 people email me in the first week. So we were like, okay, maybe let's do 20 people. So that's literally how it started. For me as a coach, it was as much a test for me as it was for the people in the series, because I didn't personally know if I could train someone from 0 in 22 weeks to be fight ready. And it worked really well. The finale was a massive success. And then the second series, I had 1,000 people register for. We've got 11 series in Australia now. We're in 7 different countries. So yeah, it's an amazing program, and it's just growing and growing and growing. I got introduced to Coach Stapes through John Kavanagh. So John Kavanagh, we contacted each other about 2 years ago. There was a guy in my series that was from Cork in Ireland. He went home, told his local gym, which was SBG Cork, about Winter Warrior and how it had changed his life, etc. And he was in all the local papers. And that got to John Kavanagh. We had a conversation on the phone. He loved the idea. So I asked John Kavanagh to recommend some people in the UK. And his first person he said was, you have to go to Rochdale. He just said Manchester, and Martin Stapleton, he's a brilliant coach. We had a conversation, we had a Skype, and first Skype I just knew he was perfect. His background in the army and training recruits as well, and taking them from 0 up to fight ready, it was a perfect combination. Straight lines all day long, we can just work it out. So when you're doing this, when you're outside from here and you're here, if you're just kind of moving straight lines, even though you've extended this out, they're going to kind of work something out. But if you're complicated in your movement from here, changing level, circling this way, circling that way from here, you're suddenly the center of the puzzle, and it's hard to work out, because when you're fighting, whether you believe it or not, when you're standing in front of someone, you're just working something out. It's a puzzle. How can I land my shots and not get hit? How can I get my takedown without being sprawled on? How can I get my submission without them see it coming? It's a constant puzzle. Your brain is just working things out constantly. So drill, drill, drill. And every time you're drilling, even if you think you're just warming up, you're teaching your body how to move, because that's exactly what's going to come out in a fight. The things you do 100, 200, 300 times. The finale is about celebration. It's about them getting into a cage in front of 30, 40 friends and family and demonstrating what they've been doing for the last 22 weeks. And most of them will never step in the cage again. We want them to have time in there. We want them to have at least a round, maybe 2 rounds, maybe even 3 rounds. So that's an experience they can take away with. So the session today was all about allowing time and space by just extending your hand out and foot movement, so it's not over in 10, 15 seconds. They want to go away with their finale with an experience. This whole training program is a huge experience, but the finale's like the icing on the cake, and we want them to have a lot of icing. It's just great content because it explains and demonstrates, which is the whole point of Winter Warrior in the first place, exactly who can do this series and what the gains are from that person, how they change and evolve as a person and become like the best version of themselves. It's all very well seeing their friends and family, seeing their change on Facebook, but to be out on the internet and then showing people that someone like Michelle, for instance, 50-year-old grandmother, can do this series. We have people, our eldest one is 57, it's been in Belfast. We've got someone that's in their 50s in Australia. It's about doing something that they would never normally do, and having that documentation, having it out there in the world, I think is something that will really help not just Winter Warrior, but it will help MMA gyms everywhere, because people will see these people doing this training and then realise that they can actually do it too, and then hopefully grow the sport at grassroots level, which is what the whole point of me starting this series in the first place. We're gonna do Warriors on 3, okay? 1, 2, 3, Warriors! Beautiful.